Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset. What's good, everybody, and welcome if it's your first time viewing. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm the Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset.
What she said.
All right, bro, listen, if you're not already... I'm not fooling with you tonight, friend. Listen, if you're not already subscribed to the Melanin Mindset, go ahead and subscribe to the Melanin Mindset. Turn on those notification bells. Give this a thumbs up. Share this content with someone you care about. You know, all the things that you can do. Do those things. Find us out on Facebook, The Melanin Mindset. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Melanin Mindset _. And then we're out on good old TikTok at The Melanin Mindset. So if you can plug in, do plug in wherever you can plug in. So, friend, I think I did it. Give this a thumbs up. I said that part.
Yes.
So go ahead and do that thing that you do.
Yes. So today, as the title says, we're talking about being proud and powerful, exploring black proud. And this topic was brought to us by one of our viewers who said, like, are you proud to be black? And of course, your immediate answer, most people that are black would be like, heck yeah. But you know, you got a few that might hesitate or may have at some point in their life felt that they wish they weren't. So that's what we're here to talk about today, is being proud of being black. And of course, we like to start with a good definition. Let's go ahead and define proud. So proud is defined a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction as a result of one's own achievements, qualities, possessions, or those of someone whom one is closely associated with. So it's a very personal feeling. It's deep. It says deep pleasure and satisfaction. Like being proud is not just like, oh, look what I did. It's like you feel that thing deep down in your soul. Like, I am proud to be who I am. And the other definition says having or showing a high or excessively high opinion of oneself or one's importance.
Yes.
So, friend, are you proud to be black?
Absolutely, without question. Without question. And you know what? That was a question that I actually did ask some people. So I asked them, like, are you proud to be black? And then, of course, you know, the resounding response is always like, yeah, I'm proud to be black. Or I'm proud of my culture. But it's like, what about your culture makes you proud? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what why are we so proud to be black?
And so I'm going to read one of the responses, okay? So the response that I ended up getting says, our people have overcome and are still overcoming adversities other races have not had to endure. To see that many don't want us to achieve, yet we do on so many levels. That makes me proud. So basically, against the odds, we still insist and persist on winning and being successful and finding our space in the room. It makes them proud.
Yeah, I recently saw I don't know, one of these social media things where the guy was like, I don't understand why you have to say it's a black-owned business.
Oh, I seen
and then like he's basically saying, like, if somebody had put white-owned business, you would be offended. And it's like, it's not that I would be offended, or it's like when you see a business in this country, the default thought is that it's owned by a white person.
That part.
Unless it's a gas station and then it's an Arab. And if it's a nail place, it's probably somebody of Asian descent. Those are the default, stereotypical as it may be, those are default thoughts of who owns these businesses. So to say it's a black-owned business makes you proud, because of what this country has done to try to oppress us. It's like, oh, through all these things that were against me, I still persevered, and this is my business, and I'm letting you know I'm black.
Period. So in the chat, we got this. We are the promised ones. We are the overcomers. I'm proud to be black. Come on, give it up one time for the one time. Absolutely. And good evening, good evening, good evening. Now, friend, listen, this
Hello.
is the person. This is the person who suggested that I try those rap snacks. Now, y'all listen, if you're not following us out on TikTok, okay, if you're not following us on TikTok, you're really missing out. Because for some reason, I am subjecting myself to the requests of the
Y'all notice who did it, who didn't.
listen,
I know my boundaries.
I like to make people laugh. I feel
Mhm.
like I can be a clown from time to time. But yeah, sending your requests. Just don't request any more rap snacks, y'all. No more rap snacks. But anything else, I'm down. Okay.
She said it
So
now until she
good
has the same
evening.
reaction to something.
Good evening. But right, they do own everything. But it's nice to see us owning stuff. It gives you that sense of pride. It gives you that
Mm-hmm.
sense of I can do this also. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
it gives you that sense of I see myself in the success of someone else. And it's like even though I'm not hitting it and I'm not achieving it and I might not have it in my hand right now, seeing somebody who looks like me living the dream that I am building for my life is inspiring. And it's that push like that maybe I want to open a storefront and I just feel like it's not possible for me in this particular area. Well, I see somebody that looks like me doing it. So
Yeah.
now I feel like, wait a minute, it's possible for me too.
Yeah. And it all comes with how we're treated here. It's not like we just decided one day to be proud to be black. It's the way that it was like we either lay down and die or stand up for ourselves and be proud of who we are.
That part.
Because nobody was affirming us to say that, you can do the same thing, you can do this, you can do that. It was just, oh, sorry, you're at a disadvantage.
Listen, I got another response from someone that says we achieve excellence despite adversity. We also shatter boundaries and what's this say? We we possess, there we go, so much talent and intelligence. And bruh, that's legit.
Mm-hmm.
That is the whole fact. Like we
Contrary to
absolutely
what the narrative was made about us.
that part. That part. We got
And
this.
the narrative that was made about us not that long ago. Like people try to make it seem like, oh, slavery was hundreds of years ago. Even Juneteenth was it a solid 100 years ago now? Yeah, it was. Okay. So Juneteenth is the only thing that's over 100 years ago. And even still, with the finally all the slaves being freed, when did segregation end?
Bruh, we weren't even
Those
allowed to
people.
actually vote in 100 years ago. It was within the last 100 years that we were
Not
allowed to
even. Wasn't
legally
it like
vote.
within the last 60, 70 years?
The last 60, 70 years. Yep.
Yeah. So this is still a very new fight for us.
That part.
Like those people who were all for segregation and the bigots and the racists, they are still alive and well and in probably very prominent places of influence. So, yeah, we have a reason to be proud.
That part. So, friend, with all of the pride that we possess for our community, our culture, and who we actually are, how do you feel? And viewers, goes for you too. How do you feel when you hear another black person or a person of color denouncing their heritage, like saying, "Oh, I'm not black," or "I don't connect to that," or whatever like that? Like, how do you all
Mhm.
feel when you hear someone say something like that? And friend, I'll open it up with Stacey Dash. You
Mhm.
remember what happened with her?
Mhm. I think so, vaguely.
So she basically said we shouldn't have the BET Awards. She said we shouldn't have channels like BET. We shouldn't have Black History Month. She said
Mhm.
that if we're against segregation and we want integration, then we shouldn't have anything that separates us from people. So she basically said, the BET Awards are basically projecting black superiority, if you will. Now, I would just like to say, she also said there's never been a black person, a white person, to win a BET award, and that's not true.
Mm.
That's actually not true. Sam
Look,
Smith,
unfortunately, it's not true.
listen, Sam Smith won the best new artist. What she's saying is that what BET is doing is excluding, and they're actually not, because if you look,
Please
as I
don't.
did the research on this part, over quite a bit of time since the inception of the BET Awards, there have been non-melanated nominees included, but
Everyone
they sincerely balance it on the vote of the people.
of the black people.
Yeah, the
That's the
people who.
purpose of the BET Awards, so that we can celebrate who we are entertained by.
So how do you feel when you hear stuff like that, friend?
It told the person is irrelevant to me after that. Like when you said Stacey Dash, I had to pause for a minute. Like, oh yeah, her. Remember the whole thing where it was like you was giving up people? It was like y'all give us this person and you can have her. So once we gave her away, she's irrelevant.
We really can't just give people away, friend.
I did in my head.
I quit at my life. So, friend, you just let her go.
She
Have you
gone.
ever seen or heard anyone else or even yourself ever felt like, bruh, I wish I wasn't black?
Absolutely not. And I've shared with you my situation growing up. Like everybody was black. So there it I and this is where I'm a sound I hope y'all get what I'm saying. This is where I kind of understand what Stacey Dash was trying to say, but the way she presented it was terrible. Because we were all black where I'm from, my school, the stores I shopped in, everywhere I went, everybody was black. So there was never a need to say like, yeah, I'm black and I'm proud. So it was just you were proud of what you were proud of your accomplishments. You were proud of what you did. You were proud of how you kept your house, how you dressed. You were proud of just those type of things, but it never had to be like I'm black and I'm proud. Not until I
Mm.
moved to Florida. So I
So,
tell you, like with me growing up, I didn't experience it. I would see it, of course, on TV and stuff like that, but I think it's ignorance, honestly. Oh, okay, yeah. And
absolutely.
I was getting ready to say from what she's saying. In my case, my ignorance of being around um the envelopians, I not being around them is
I know.
why I didn't feel that. I didn't feel it. I heard it, it was talked about, I was taught it, but I didn't feel it until later in life.
Mm. And see, where I grew up, it was a blend, but or so I thought.
Mm.
I'm gonna say it like that. I thought it was a blend. But then as an adult looking back, I'm like, there were far less of us in
Mm-hmm.
those school photos.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking to myself, like, but as a kid, everybody looked like me. I just remember being in preschool and kindergarten and first grade, and all them kids looked just like me in my head, I
In your
guess.
head, yeah.
Because
That was
as an
that thing
adult
we
looking
talked
back,
about
I'm
before.
like,
It was like at what age did you realize you were black?
mm, maybe
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was black when I was little. But I doubt that's the case. I'm gonna just be honest. I knew very well I was black. But
No, but Stacey
but what
Dash,
I'm saying is like
I
that
just feel like
memory.
she just hates herself. Period. And somebody should
Oh,
probably look after her because to just even come up with those statements like you hate yourself.
so what about Raven Simone though? She said that she's not African American. Now, sis can't negate the fact that she is black.
Mm-hmm.
She said, but it's different. There's a difference. So that was her recoup statement. Her initial statement was, "I'm not black. I'm American." Then
She was
her
saying she wasn't African American. She's American. Is
right,
that
she's
what you're
not
saying?
African American. She's American.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, of course, Beyonce's internet got mad. They got their feathers all ruffled and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came back and said that there are African Americans, people who are more connected to that culture. She's from, I want to say Louisiana or something like that. She's from
Okay.
somewhere, Louisiana. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, my roots are in Louisiana. And so that's where she draws her line. Her roots are in Louisiana. She doesn't connect back any
So
further in her lineage
she's
or her
Louisiana
heritage.
American.
She's Louisiana American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's
So
gonna be hard to pull something because when you say something ignorant, I'm just like, okay, you ignorant, and that's just it. You're gonna be ignorant to me forever. It's gonna be really hard for me to change my mind. So Raven's American and Stacey Dash is blank.
I'm done. Look,
Mhm.
he said the first time a child celebrates and finds out about Dr. King, you realize you're black or white.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Hmm.
Quite
Possibly. When you
possibly.
learn about Dr. King and the civil rights movement, is when you
Uh-huh.
realize which side of the civil rights movement you would have been on.
That part. That's
Yeah.
when you wake up and you come to that, yeah, that realization, bro. That's crazy.
Hmm.
So I put some movie references down, friend. One of
Hmm.
which, y'all listen, I expeditiously watched a movie in the last hour and 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about a couple of movies, and I'm gonna give you the titles of the movies. If it's something that you had wanted to watch, y'all, you probably about to get a
So this,
nutshell.
yeah, spoiler alert.
All right,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna name the three movies: Passing,
Hmm.
A Jazz Man's Blues,
Hmm.
and The Strays.
Yeah.
So the commonality is the female lead is no longer trying to connect to her black side and would like to be white passing or black acceptable. In other
Hmm.
words, super duper light skinned.
Hmm.
Okay.
Super duper
Oh.
light skin, super duper proper, you know, you speak so
hmm
well, all those types of things.
You know, you
So
go to
passing,
Tupperware
we can talk
circles.
about passing because I saw passing. I didn't see Jazzman's Blues and I saw the Strays. So passing was didn't it start off with two women?
Yes, I believe they
It
were
started off with two
sisters.
women that they weren't sisters, but I know they grew up together. And one of them, married a black man, raised their little black family, and then the other one, she moved out away from where she was, moved into the white neighborhood and assimilated as a white woman,
As a
despite the
white
fact
woman.
that she was not. Now, the other one who married the black man, she would use her advantage of being light skinned and being able to pass as white, being, hence the title being passing. She would go into town and shop places and eat places that she wouldn't be able to if she was identified as being black. She was more identified as being white, so she used her advantage to just enjoy some of the luxuries that she wouldn't be able to enjoy during that time period.
Right. And but she also like denounced her brown side as
No,
a
not
whole.
that one. Not that one. The other
Passing.
one who
Oh,
left.
the other one. Yes, yes,
Yeah, the
yes.
other one who left, she was just living her life as a white woman altogether.
Period.
And then she ran into her old friend who, like I said, was going and pretending to be white to shop in the better stores and eat at the better restaurants. They ran into each other. And that was
Mm-hmm.
when she looked at her like, don't I know you? And it was like, don't I know you? And then they kind of met up and she kind of followed her up. Like her husband is white. Her husband doesn't know that she's black. And it was quite interesting.
It was quite intense
Hmm.
because you could almost feel the stress and anxiety of the friend because she was like, you realize you're playing a very dangerous game.
Yes.
And so the friend, the alarm the friend had for her, like the fear she was feeling, like,
Hmm.
do you realize what could happen to you if he finds out?
Yes.
But she continued. She continued.
Yeah.
We got
And
some
she
stuff in
even
the
visited
chat.
her house and it was interesting. It's like the husband was clearly racist and does not know he's married to a black woman.
That part. I see what Ganja Po put in the chat, but hold on, because that's the next movie. So she said, my daughter asked me, why do pink people not like brown people? I did my best to explain that blacks are looked at differently than whites. Wow, that is a tough reality to come to.
Yeah.
That is a tough reality to come to. I'm
And I
coming.
feel like as the more and more we have children, we have to kind of decide, because honestly I do feel like the next generation is doing a little bit, not all the way, but they're doing better at this race thing than the previous generation. So I do feel like it's getting better, but I don't feel like we can completely erase our history. Like
Mm,
they do still need to know the history.
facts. She said, in my explanation, she told me in her words, just for a minute, I think it's better to be white than black because they have an easier life. But I'm happy to be brown skinned. Well, hello,
Oh.
sis. Yes, ma'am, honey. Absolutely thrilled to be brown skinned. Yes, so the Jazzman's Blues. So yes, that's the Jazzman's Blues, Ganja Pro. That's why I said I'm not addressing you just yet, but we see you coming in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give a nutshell of the Jazzman's Blues. So basically,
Wait, I did watch it.
okay,
I
so
think I did watch it.
basically there's a light skinned woman, all right, and her mother, she's no actually she's being raised by her uncle or her grandfather, and they're out in like shacks, and so she falls in love with a black boy. Well, she's black too, but a dark skinned black boy. And when the grandfather catches wind, mind you, he's been molesting her all this time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But when the grandfather gets wind of the fact that she is in love with this brown skinned boy, he calls her mom. Her mom comes and takes her out of town. So she comes to get her daughter and goes back into town with her daughter. Mind you, her mom has been passing as white all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, now she brings her daughter, acclimates her daughter to the new society that she's in, raises her as a little white girl to keep her away from this black boy. Mind you, black boy gets super successful and goes to sing the blues in jazz clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when he takes off, then he wants to go back and find her. Mind you, when they reconnect, she gets pregnant. So you can only understand the fear she was feeling that if this
Mm-hmm.
brown baby was born and she's married to a white man, okay, that this
Mm-hmm.
brown baby could very well cause some problems for them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then with that, long story short, she basically, they grow up, go their different ways, and then he feels like he has to come back to rescue her because that's the communications they've been sending. He goes back to get her. He ends up losing his life. She raises the child as a little white boy, only for him to find out as an adult he is indeed black. And the jazz man whose music his grandma's been playing is his daddy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, or his mom has been playing as his daddy. So with that, I was the only black child in the entire school. And even though at a young age I was proud to be the only little brown girl, I don't think I ever thought about color until I went to that school. Ooh, and the bus driver told me to sit down inward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you handle that?
Mm-hmm. I can tell you how she handled it because she always told us this story.
Mm-hmm.
She just stood at the exit of the bus and screamed because she was like 6. She said she didn't really know, but she knew it was bad, but she didn't even know the why at the time. But she just screamed and then got off the bus and went home.
Do you remember if your parents did anything? What? That is poorly timed, friend.
I was clicking off of the other one. At least I thought I was clicking off of the other one.
Wow. So did you ever tell your parents?
Yeah, she'll answer. Keep talking. You know it's a delay.
Yeah, it is. So with
Uh-huh.
the Jazzman's Blues, basically, she did that. She grew up as a white woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she lived her life that way, and went on and allowed that man to lose his life. Mind you, she was going to run away with him, but she lost her life. But it's like to think how disgusted you must be with yourself. But I don't think she was necessarily disgusted with being black so much as her mother was dead set on not being black.
And you know what? Honestly, I even in all of these movies, the common thing was that it wasn't so much that they were disgusted being black. They were more disgusted, just like the baby said, with how they had to live because they were black. So instead of just accepting that this is how I have to live, which most their way of getting out of it was to pretend to be something else.
Mm. Yeah, that's facts because that leads us into the next movie, The Stray. She definitely was sick of living the way she was living. She was
Mm-hmm.
over it. I'm black and I'm proud. I love it. I'll let them know those days are over here.
Yeah.
Hello. You want to read that one?
I was in elementary school in Boston. Only 2 black families was in the school, and I was one of them. I didn't feel a lot of tension, but a couple of kids and teachers were mean.
Mm,
Yeah. And it's like, and when you're a kid in elementary school, you're just like, the lady's mean. And then it's something along those lines. Like, when does it turn into you realizing why they're just being mean?
right.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
that.
you
It's
start
the
to
adult
notice
realization.
who, it's like you start to notice who they're being mean to.
Hmm. Friend, you want to kick off the strays? Because, girl, I felt a type
Hmm.
of way.
When I moved to
I'm
Philadelphia, I had
still
culture shock because
processing.
everybody was African American. Yes, yes, yes. We was all blackity black, bliggity bliggity black. So the
Mm-mm.
last movie that she referenced was called The Strays. This one was extreme because this lady,
Woo!
it starts off, you see her being stressed out raising these kids. She doesn't have enough money, she doesn't have enough food. She calls her friend and she's like, I'm just tired of it. She's like, I'm tired of living like this. And I don't know what generic advice the friend gave her, I can't remember, but she wasn't having it. Homegirl left that man, them kids, went and moved to a predominantly white neighborhood, started teaching at an all white school, married a white man, and became
The mother
this
to some beige babies.
mother to some beige babies. But she became this like um the token black girl, but more than that, because it was almost like they were just so impressed with her.
She had
um
become a socialite.
like she wasn't like passing, like they didn't think she was white, they knew she was black, but they were like, you practically fit in, like you're perfect. Like she basically was, they knew she was black, but her whole thing was like, I'm not that black, basically. Like
Mm.
I'm black by my parents were black, but I'm not black like eating cornbread and collard greens black.
I'm not. Listen, I'm like lace front black, but I'm not like blonde streaks black.
She wasn't even lace front. She wasn't even trying to be lace front black because her daughter came home with some baby hairs and she lost her crap.
But no, she was wearing them wigs, girl. She had them wig options in that closet.
She did have wigs. She did wear wigs to simulate
But
her. There wasn't
no,
no lace fronts though.
friend, it was in the first 5 minutes of the movie when she seen her daughter working, and her daughter had them horrific,
They
horrendous
weren't even cute baby
baby
hairs.
hairs going on. And she's like, "What happened to your hair?" And she goes, "I'll bring some shampoo to take care of that." And then the white woman at the desk, she talking about the trends these days. It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, your parents handled it?
Yes,
Okay.
parents handled it.
Mm.
Let's
Girl, we
see.
got a couple to catch up
I was
on.
constantly in advanced and honors class, and unfortunately, in my youth, that meant I was often the only black child in most of my classes. Right. And when I moved back to Georgia, I went to Evans High School. That was a culture shock. I went from black schools showing me how great I am and how great we are as black people. My church promoted it, my neighborhood, and
There's more.
then I get to Evans High and it's like, wait, it's a group of us. Okay, so before you started off and then came, yeah. Luckily for me, when I changed environments like that, I was already an adult. I came to Florida,
Mm,
I was 25. So it was very cool. I realized very quick what I was in for, and yeah, just responded.
mm. I realized racism when I moved to Philadelphia, and the kids and the teachers explained it to you when I was around my people. Whoa. Okay. So you didn't have any understanding of racism before you moved to Philly? Like you didn't know what it was at all?
Mm.
Let's see here. One day my honors algebra class student came by and purposely knocked my pencil off my desk, so I told him to pick it up. His response was make me N-word.
So who cleaned up the blood?
That part. Yep. Who is paying to produce these movies and what their message is? That's facts. That's facts. I think it's bringing some light because the truth be told is I'm not saying that all melanated people are who are writing these stories, but the melanated people who are writing these stories are basically bringing light to the fact that history is currently repeating itself. And
Yeah.
that's really,
You're
my primary thought.
shining the light on self hate, and hopefully you take out of it that you should love who you are, regardless of your race.
Frank, can we say what the end of the movie was? Nah, I want y'all to go watch The Strays. Go watch The Strays. You want to see the end. So, friend, we talked about people denouncing being black. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Listen, if you don't remember, y'all, we are brand ambassadors for Deanu Apparel. Give it up one time for Deanu. They give our viewers 15% off their purchases, clearance included, by clicking that link down below or using promo code Melanin Mindset at checkout. Y'all listen, that was getting good, boy. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other side of the coin. In other words, the non-melanated people perpetrating. Let's just say it
Mm-hmm.
that way. We'll be right back, y'all. What's good, Mindset family? The Melanin Mindset is thrilled to announce we are the newest brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Dianu Apparel is a black-owned apparel company that offers trendy African-inspired prints in each and every garment. They're offering our listeners 15% off their purchases just by using promo code Melanin Mindset. There's something for him, there's something for her, and there's even something for the kids. So head right over to dianu.com using the description link down below, or just simply enter Melanin Mindset at checkout and save today. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Now, you know I'm about to do that whole thing that I do again. So, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the Melanin Mindset. Give this a thumbs up, turn on those notification bells, and share this with someone you care about. If you're viewing us out on Facebook, go ahead and comment down below where you're viewing us from. We'd love to know where our viewers are watching. We're out on Instagram and Twitter, Melanin Mindset _ We are also on good old TikTok at the Melanin Mindset. So wherever you can plug in, you should plug in, okay? And like I said, we are brand ambassadors for Dianu, and this week our picture is a little different, okay? This week we have Kia. Oh, there it is. Wait. Kia and Jimmy. Y'all give it up one time for the one time. In their matching Dianu apparel. I'm just saying, swag.
We feel it.
Okay. You're definitely cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if you're plugged in with us on social media that you know we have been advertising a new segment that'll be coming to the Melanin Mindset where you can submit your MFN questions and we will be answering them. So if you want you want opinions but you don't want everybody all up in your business, go ahead and submit your anonymous questions to the melanatedmindset at gmail.com or go to themelanatedmindset.com and there is a form down at the bottom and you can go ahead and fill that in as well, the contact form with your MF in question, and it is on the way. Last but not least, become an official MFer by purchasing your Melanin Mindset tee by scanning the QR code right here. Friend, that is all that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all, there it is. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right back into this thing because it was getting quite deep before we left. Like, I
Yeah.
lost track of time. I looked up and was like, oh, shoot, commercial, y'all, commercial.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we talked about black women that perpetrated as white women.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are going to go ahead and flip the coin.
Yes.
And I want to know how y'all feel. Like, what are your thoughts or feelings on someone pretending to be black that is indeed, without question, a white male or female?
Now, what about before we dive deep into you just pretending and passing it, trying to pass as black? What about what they call it cultural appropriation?
Oh,
Like, of course, we're black and we're proud. We have certain things that, like, from the time we was born, we was getting our hair braided, and certain things just seem to go with, being black. Do rags and waves. There's certain things just,
baby hairs.
yeah, like it's a thing.
No, the girl called them sticky bangs, and they came for her life, boy.
Well, and she claimed she was trying to be
She
funny,
said
but it was
she
not
came
funny
up
at
with a
all.
new trend. No, she said she didn't really know the hairstyle. She was
No,
from
that girl
Europe.
said she was joking, and
Oh,
everybody
Lord.
took it so seriously. But
Oh, wow.
that's because you sound real dumb.
Friend, go ahead and say your piece about cultural appropriation. I see we have
No,
a
I was
question in the
asking
chat.
you.
Oh,
It was a
me?
question. I was just asking.
How
Yeah.
do I feel? I don't know. I don't know that I have sincere feelings on that level of expression. Now, when you're putting on, then it feels disingenuous. So I'm just kind of like, you're weird. And I won't necessarily be around that person.
So
But I don't,
a
I'm
white
not,
girl with box braids doesn't bother you.
no, she about to be bald headed.
Would you do it
No.
as a stylist?
Mm-mm.
Why?
because it's not in the best interest of their hair.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's the main
But I
reason I
do know
wouldn't.
hairstylists that just won't do it because they like it ain't for you. That's our
No,
point.
it's just it's
That's
not
our
in the
point.
best interest of your hair, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just sincere. It's not. But
Mm.
if you want to go do it and you want to walk around looking like Boo Boo the Fool, do you, boo? So
Mm-hmm.
Linda says, the other grandma, she says, how do you feel when people say you speak and act like Caucasian people? What exactly does that mean? Wait a minute. This is for me. This one is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. Okay. I have my moments where I know while I'm trying to relay a message, I'll tend to speak more clearly when I'm trying to drive a message home. But then at the same time, you can catch me on a Saturday chilling with my friends and I'm gonna sound a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been told um, when I was younger that I sounded like a white girl.
Mm.
It was kind of weird because I'm like, bruh, I was real country when I was younger. I'm not as bad these days, but I was like, I sound like a white girl. Okay,
But people said that about my children too. They would say my children sound white.
yeah, I didn't know how to take that. I was like, just because my dad makes me read and yours doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, your dad's not at home. And
You
so
ain't you ain't crap. You ain't crap.
bruh, those are the kind of arguments that I used to put down with these people. Those were the
Mm-hmm.
people who would tell me I sounded white. So I got really offensive when I would hear that comment when I was younger. But
Mm-hmm.
as an adult, it's kind of like you're knocking me because I sound like you can understand me. Like you just
I call
automatically
it the
assume.
customer service voice.
Shut up. You
I
just
do. I call it the
automatically
customer
assume.
service voice. I'm like, oh girl, what you selling?
Shut up. So she said, I feel a type of way. I feel like everyone wants to be us until it's time to be us. If you know what I mean,
Exactly.
absolutely know what you mean.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
It looks
Okay.
fun. It looks fun to have the baby hairs. It looks fun to do this, to speak a certain way, use
Listen,
slang,
it's
use
all fun and games till
different
one of us gets
jargon.
arrested.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
Yep.
have read this with friend.
I have a friend whose husband is mixed with Italian and Puerto Rican. She was out with her mom-in-law. She was looking in the window with her baby, and a white woman came to ask her if she was a
Oh, there's more.
nanny or did she steal the baby? I think that's supposed to say. Or did
Yeah.
she steal the baby? My answer would have been I stole the baby. What are you gonna do? Stupid. Because if I stole the baby, I'm just gonna answer you and go, yes, I did steal the baby, as a matter of fact. Please call
Yes.
the authorities on me. Kind of dumb. Like sometimes
Yes.
I think like, did you really think about what was about to fall out of your mouth?
You can take this one too, friend.
I've gotten that I'm like, okay, I'm educated and know how to speak properly, but okay, go off. Oh
That
yeah.
part.
When people say you sound white, okay.
That part. So yeah, that it bothered me when I was younger only because I was okay with my blackness until my blackness was called into question.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I used to love to read and things like that. And I'll be real, it did impact me. I used to
Mm-hmm.
love to read when I was younger. My dad made us read. My dad made us write. It's just what it is. Like my dad corrected our grammar when we spoke wrong. And
Absolutely.
so with that, it's just that was my household, you know what I mean? So it did put a damper on my desire to do some of the stuff my dad had us doing. And it became like a chore instead of
Mm-hmm.
something I was all right with dealing with. So yeah, it used to bother me. So I used to get real disrespectful. I'd be reckless. So let's see. The whole reason they want us to, I'm sorry, the whole reason they want to be us is because of the trends and style, and they want to capitalize on our style
That's when
and
it
who
becomes
we are.
appropriation. And that's when it
Right,
becomes appropriation because why can't I make money off of it? But then because you decide to call it something different, now you get to capitalize on it. Like that's crap.
right. You just mad because I'm gonna label it black owned business.
That's
Period.
crap. That's crap.
So let's talk about these women who
Mm-hmm.
perpetrated as melanated women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one we have up, we're gonna bring her to the front of the congregation, is Miss Rachel Dolezal. And I think we all know Rachel Dolezal. Honestly, if you really think about it, you've seen her, heard this story, or something of that nature. Rachel
Mm-hmm.
Dolezal is the white woman who perpetrated as black, and I believe she was with the
Oh wow. For a
NAACP
little minute.
for
No,
quite
yeah.
some time.
For a little minute.
So I'm gonna give you all a little backstory on Rachel Dolezal before her life came crumbling
And you
down.
know we ain't care about it because I know most people say Dozell because we don't care what her name is. They be like,
What,
that Dozell girl.
Fred, I need to give them some context to what she says her childhood was like, so that way they can make their decision as to whether or not they are still casting aspersions on her. So listen, Rachel Dolezal was raised in a conservative home, devout Christian parents, both of them white. Okay, she said that her childhood was so strict and so overwhelming dealing with her parents the way they were that she must have been a kidnapped Egyptian princess. Okay, wait, let me finish. So she just knew she could hold on to the dream that she was indeed a kidnapped or adopted Egyptian princess just so she could get through her horrible childhood. So when she became an adult, she connected with her memory of being an Egyptian princess that happened to be either kidnapped or adopted. There's two different versions of the story, but they both tie to the same narrative, which is she was an Egyptian princess that was then brought in by her devout Christian parents as a like missionary thing, but then they regretted it. So on June the 11th of 2015, Rachel Dolezal was interviewed on TV, and they asked her if she was African American. She was too stunned to speak. She looked at them, and her response was, I don't understand the question.
I bet you don't.
So, what are you all sound like she need to be Baker acted?
Exactly. Like this is madness. Certain things I'm just like,
So y'all don't have no
when it,
compassion for Rachel, bruh. She had a hard life.
she had a hard life because nobody got her the help she needed. She needed help. This is a nutcase. She
She
needed
said
help and nobody helped her. That is the only sad part of this story. Is that clearly this was somebody with a mental disorder that did not get the help that she needed.
that makes my head hurt.
Yeah, this comment right here, she used white privilege to become back. She absolutely did. She absolutely did.
That makes my head hurt. She used white privilege to be black? Oh my gosh. And we got a simple nope
Yeah,
in the
no.
chat.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
because we feel
no.
nothing for her. No. She's absolutely
So
crazy. The only thing I feel is like, dang, her parents should have realized something was wrong. Because it couldn't have just been those signs. And the part that you started off with, like she grew up in a Christian household that was very strict. So because your parents didn't let you go out and do God knows what with God knows who at God knows when, you had a hard childhood. Please kick rocks. If that's the
you
case,
know her
we all
parents is
had
who
one.
outed her, right? Her
Yes.
parents is who outed her.
If that's the case, I had a hard childhood. Cause baby, I wasn't allowed to do nothing.
Nowhere.
What? Go where? Who? I don't know them people.
I'm like, I don't know what black children she grew up
So I was
around
supposed to
that she thought it
fantasize
would
that
be
I was a
better.
so I was supposed to fantasize that I was a European princess to get through my childhood because my mama wouldn't let me go to the basement party while all the other kids went to go. That is crap. Nobody would feel any sympathy for
Oh,
my stories.
oh, friend, my eyes, they're watering. No, make it stop. So the next is going to be actually a Indian American woman. So she was actually I want to say she is
I don't
from
know this woman. Who is this woman?
yeah, she is actually Arabian or something like that. She's from over there. All
Mm-hmm.
right. She's a Muslim woman. Okay.
So
So
probably
her name
related.
was yeah, her name
Okay.
is Jessica Krug. So Jessica Krug pretended to be a black professor for quite some time.
Was she teaching African American history?
Bruh, listen, I wish I knew what class she was teaching. I'm sure it's there. And listen, y'all, if y'all have heard the Jessica Krug story, go ahead and comment where she was teaching and the subject she was teaching. But I'll confirm and I'll let you know, friend. But so when she was outed, she kind of outed herself, kind of at the threat of someone letting her know, letting it out that she was not black. But her response to social media was, I gaslit you. All right. She said that after all that she has done, she should be canceled because cancel culture is, and I quote, a righteous tool of those with less power to wield against those with more power. So she should absolutely be canceled for perpetrating as a African American woman.
She taught history.
She taught history.
She just said she taught history.
I bet you it was African American history. I don't doubt it. I just see that being probable. So he said, "We've raised you a good Christian woman, and you
And you,
grow up to
you grow up
become
to be
black."
black. Yeah.
Oh, look at the end of it. A boy.
That little boy.
Lord, we need that little boy to plug in here, bruh, so we can have it to play when some nonsense takes place. But
Uh-huh.
no, as a whole, what I know y'all went off before we even talked about the two white women that perpetrated to be black. Like y'all killed it. But now that you've heard their stories, what are your thoughts? Do you feel as though because the comment was that Jessica Krug, she felt like somehow or another she was being vindicated, or she was kind of like playing on the heartstrings, like I deserve to be canceled because I was wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like she presented it like that. She taught history and out here confusing folks' kids. Put that on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. 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 I what? Again.
Yeah,
It all brings us back to mental health. Because
all of it.
clearly you have lost your crap. It's one thing to be an advocate of a cause or a people or a culture that is not necessarily yours. That's one thing. But to just assimilate as this person, as this culture, or as this group of people, like what is wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. Friend, just like I thought, it's going to have to be a part two, but we can definitely hit number 4
Mm,
before we go. So, one of the things that's the most rich within our culture is absolutely the history and the heritage. One thing that brings all Black Americans together more than anything is the rich history of cultural heritage that absolutely spans across generations, from the struggles of slavery and segregation to the achievements of civil rights and more. Okay, so that is something that connects all Black people. Would you not agree? Like, I
mm-hmm.
really believe that the sincere understanding that we are at a disadvantage. Now, let's be for real. It's some people, some Black people who are definitely crabs in a barrel. Don't get it twisted. It's like, if you go up, you got to pull me up. Or, if you go
Yes,
up, you owe me something. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like,
yes.
don't leave me down. You can't, and if you go up and I can't go up, then you can't go. You get what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
is something that's a little bit of a defect in our community, but I don't want to stick on that. But yeah, friend, what are your thoughts as far as our ties into culture and things like that?
What you said.
I,
We have to define our culture so other people don't think they could just step in. And you know what's sad is no matter how we define it, other people are gonna feel like other mentally disabled people, because I'm sorry, I'm giving this a mental issue, are gonna think that they could just assimilate.
friend, but they identify as Black.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what Rachel said. Rachel said she identified as Black. She walked into her true self. She found her connection in Blackness.
And see, I feel like on a media scale, it wasn't really addressed well. But I would love to see what her therapy sessions were like. Because how do you identify as Black? Like what? I don't even understand, because it's race. Let's be clear, race is a made up thing, and it's basically just because of how we look. You think I look this way, so I deserve less. So what the heck? How do you identify as that? I'm Black, and I don't even feel like I identify as that. It just is what it is.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait,
Mhm.
wait, 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 wait. I'm sorry. I got to back up because I see the comments coming through.
That part,
I
I
identify.
identify as a multi-billionaire.
Throw the money.
I
Throw the
identify
money.
as a multi-billionaire. But then when I'm not, and you see all the money I'm moving that ain't mine, now I'm in jail
Oh,
for racketeering.
I can't deal. My phone keeps going in and out, and I have a new one. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Y'all, I said in season 2 I was gonna start reading the
that
comments
part.
before I put them on the
I
screen.
wish it was that easy, Jimmy. Yes. Well, let's just all just start identifying as multi-billionaires, and we'll check back with each other in a year. Let's see what happens.
That
I
part.
identify as a multi-millionaire.
Listen,
Okay.
I identify as a multi-billionaire, like Jimmy
Billionaire. That's
said,
right. That's what he said. A
with a B,
multi-billionaire.
a big B. I identify as a
Mm-hmm.
multi-billionaire. Y'all, we'll be back same time next year, and we'll give you that update.
Yeah, that part.
Listen, that part. I'm just saying, with y'all support, it could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so friend, on a lighter note, on the way out, y'all listen.
I'm a Pisces.
Oh Lord.
So that's kind
Y'all,
of funny
listen.
because that was
Stan
a.
Tip joined late tonight, so we got to give it up for him coming in, acting a fool like
So
always.
let me
We
give
love
you
it.
the backstory on the I'm a Pisces. I feel like it was somebody, it was a kid when we was growing up, and they used to call him, I'm not gonna say it because it was a bad word, but it ended with Muhammad. I don't know if that boy name was Muhammad or was that just what they used to call him. And I remember somebody asking him, "Are you a Muslim?" because his name was Muhammad. He said, "No, I'm a Pisces." It's like, what did that have to do with the question? But
Friend.
we were kids, and so yeah.
I'm glad the show almost over because I'm about to lose my makeup fooling with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like, comment, and share. Thank you so much for that in the chat. Listen, so all of this came to be, like she said, at the suggestion of a viewer. The question was, do we, are we proud to be Black? And it's like here at the Melanin Mindset, needless to say, we could go on for days talking about how proud we are to be Black and the reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
But we encourage you all to reconnect with where you come from. This weekend, I'm going to have the joy of meeting a side of my family I've never met before, y'all. And it was a harsh reality and realization for myself when I started to learn more about this family group. Okay. This is my grandmother's side of the family. And when I say it is closer than you think, slavery did not happen that long ago. It did not happen that long ago. So I don't know, friend, maybe I'll do a little bit of a video type of recap, something to share from the
Yeah,
family
Instagram or
reunion.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an Instagram or TikTok a little bit about what I've learned about my family and my lineage. And I'm telling you, I encourage you all to do the same. Learn where you come from because that pride only grows. Promise you
Mm-hmm.
that.
Now,
Friend, you
who's
got
still
anything for the
setting off
people?
fireworks? Cause what holiday? Ain't no holiday right now. Why they setting off fireworks?
That's the melanated people, honey. That's the melanated people. It says before we go, this was awesome. Thank you, friend, for bringing me. Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much for being here.
So,
Absolutely. So, friend, what you got before we go?
I was, as soon as we started talking about this, like the first thing that came in my mind was, say it loud. I'm
I'm
black
black
and
and I'm
proud.
proud.
That was the only part of the song I know. So what did I do? I looked up the lyrics. And
Absolutely.
these lyrics are the embodiment of why we're proud to be Black. And I'm just going to read the first verse. And honestly, I'm too young to know how the melody goes, so I'm just going to read the first verse. It says, "Looky here. Some people say we got a lot of malice. Some say it's a lot of nerve. But I say we won't quit moving until we get what we deserve. We've been buked and we've been scorned. We've been treated bad, talked about, as sure as you're born. But just as sure as it takes two eyes to make a pair, huh, brother, we can't quit until we get our share." That's
Say
just the
it
first
loud.
verse. The whole thing is it's poetry in itself. I really want to. I'm going to listen to it as soon as we get off.
You should definitely post those lyrics on Facebook. Y'all, if you
Mhm.
want to look into those lyrics, check out our Facebook in this coming week because those lyrics will be posted there. And I'll be sharing a recap out on TikTok. So if you're not following at the Melanin Mindset on TikTok, you should. And friend, before we do go, I forgot to let them know something. Bruh, do y'all
Mhm.
know what happened for the Melanin Mindset in the last week? Not only are we on Spotify, but
Oh
we are
yeah.
also on iHeartRadio. So y'all can go find the Melanin Mindset out on Spotify and iHeartRadio, and you can be listening to the playback right now. And to those new Spotify listeners and new people who have found us on iHeartRadio, welcome to the MF family, y'all. So, friend, you on the way? I'm
Let's
on the
go.
way. Y'all, we out. Thank you. We absolutely love you. Good night, y'all.
Good night.